Hello, and welcome to Tea with the Druid. It's lovely to be here, lovely to see everybody appearing, and from Brisbane to Whidbey Island to Pender Island, British Columbia, Bedfordshire, a very dark Crouch End, a rainy London, a wet Northamptonshire, a windy Cornwall, from Austria and rainy Dallas. Lots of rain around everywhere. Yes, the land of Brittany and standing stones. Hello, everyone. Great to see you. My monitor has packed up, and I'm using my laptop, and it seems very blurred. I don't know if I'm blurred to you, but I'm blurred to myself. I think the camera on the laptop is inferior or something. If so, I apologize. But I hope you can hear me well. And as everybody arrives, I'd like to thank Roma for doing such a lovely tea with a druid about the Dumb Feast at Samhain last week. I was on a Eurostar from Holland actually at the time. It was rather wonderful, taking a train from Amsterdam and then going under the sea and coming up in London. It was rather extraordinary. So here we are. We've come. Going through Samhain always feels to me, for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, going through Samhain always feels like a gateway. We go through, things sort of intensify. There's a kind of intense, and then there's the gateway of Samhain, and then we move into this dark half of the year, this different half of the year. And particularly strongly for me this year, there's a sense of difference coming into a different cycle. And I see somebody's from New Zealand, Janine. Hello there from sunny New Zealand. Of course, it's very different for you. You're going through Beltane, coming into summer, moving from spring to summer. How lovely. But if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, just tell me how you're feeling. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, tell me how you're feeling. How are you feeling in this sort of, particularly I'm interested in, I suppose, after Samhain, I mean, we're still within the compass of Samhain, the energy of Samhain, but how are you feeling at the moment? Let's see how people are faring. Matthew Richardson says it's the best half of the year for him. Gabrielle, I'm so sorry to hear that your husband died recently. I'm very, very sorry. All my condolences. It's very difficult for you. Melissa's feeling exhausted and deflated. Agatha's feeling I've lost what Agatha's feeling. I'm sorry, it happened so fast. Victoria's feeling peaceful. Trix is waiting for the eclipse tomorrow. I didn't know there was one. I must have a look that up. First snowfall today, says Even. Bit of a cold snap after Samhain in Arizona. Wonderful, very whole spiritually. That's a whole range of feelings. I'm feeling sad. I love this time of year. I'm feeling unbalanced, dull, tired weather. The weather doesn't help me in touch with myself. Feeling some scattered energies, says Tracy. Overloaded, says Cassandra. Emotionally sensitive, cozy. Love these dark, calm and mystic, aroused, more energy this year. Sad, having to leave. Dreading the dark, overwhelmed, hassled but energized. Peaceful yet anticipating the election, a little scared. Yeah. I feel like I want to hibernate in the winter. Rising from shadow. I like that. Yeah. Feeling feeling a great change is on the horizon. Quite emotional. Morgan saying many departures at this time. Pretty exhausted today after a busy weekend. Feeling introspective. I love the more tranquil mood. Grey and lonely. Embracing the downtime. So a whole range of feelings. And I suppose if I ask myself, I'm feeling peaceful and as if the new hasn't quite shown itself, but a sense of some new cycle beginning, some sense of potential and some sense of a new cycle beginning, but not clear about what it is, but happy to remain in the dark. And the other thing I'm feeling is the need for space and solitude and quiet. Lots of letting go, as Jenny says. And that's to allow, I think, the magic of this time to work on me. I know that Samhain and the dark half of the year and this time as we move towards the winter solstice is in many ways, it's the journey through the other world. If you think of Samhain as a time of death, and if you believe in reincarnation, and you then lay the journey of the soul onto the eightfold wheel of the year, something really interesting occurs. You have this picture where the body is let go of at Samhain, and then there's this period, but the winter solstice is, if you like, conception, the moment of, in some senses, rebirth, because it's the rebirth of the sun. At another level, birth occurs at Imbolc. You can choose how you wish to see it. So in some ways, you could say there's the conception, the moment of the winter solstice, this little tiny light. We light one candle in the darkness in Druid ceremonies. And then there's birth at Imbolc, moving into childhood at Alban Isla in March, spring equinox. Young adulthood as we go from Beltane, the time of coming together, the lovers, down to adulthood at the summer solstice, moving towards maturity in the autumn equinox, the sort of harvesting one's life, moving to Samhain, letting go of the body, and then this period before taking on another body between Samhain and the winter solstice. So that's a model that works for me very well. And so this time is very extraordinary because it's the time of about 6 weeks until we get up to the winter solstice, of being in the other worlds. It's a liminal time, so we can extend the liminal quality of Samhain through to this whole segment between Samhain and Alban Arthan, between Samhain and the winter solstice. So it's a time of magic, a time of letting go, a time of allowing the gifts of the night, the mysteries of not knowing, the mysteries of the unconscious, the mysteries of dreams, the gifts that lie hidden below the surface of the rational mind to, I was going to say, come out to play, to come into the forest clearing at night and to play in the starlight, and for our conscious minds to let go of some of its control. Somebody says my audio is dropping out. I'm sorry if that's happening. I hope it's not at this end. The conscious mind it's possible that me waving my arm was blocking the mic or something. I won't do that. I'll stop waving. So this is a time of spaciousness at the level of consciousness, a time to seek spaciousness. We're so used to filling our lives with fun and excitement and information and input that I think the challenge at Samhain is to let go of that need for input, that need to fill the spaces, and to embrace the silence and the darkness. And so in that vein, I've chosen a couple of poems that I think that I think help to get us to this place, if this is a place one wants to get to, if you want to get. And what I'd like to invite you to do, if you wish, is let's have a meditation together. And as we're in the quiet of the meditation, I will read from this wonderful anthology, The Rag and Bone Shop of the Heart, a poetry anthology with Robert Bly, James Hillman, and Michael Mead being the editors and the translators in some cases too. And I'm going to read you one poem translated by Robert Bly by Francisco Albanez, and the other poem is Antonio Machado, also translated by Robert Bly, The Last Night. And the Albanez one is called The One Who Is at Home. Okay, so if you'd like to accept the invitation, you might like to become aware of yourself being seated in front of your computer or screen. And at the same time as being fully aware of this fact of being seated in front of your screen, at the same time, you can allow your awareness of this to just slightly diminish as you become aware of another reality, the reality that you're sitting in a sacred grove, in a clearing, beloved of the Druids, a place where heaven and earth meet, a place where the stars are out in the night sky. There's moonlight too, and it's very, very peaceful. And you gradually become accustomed to the star and moonlight. And you become accustomed too to this little piece of earth that you're seated upon. And you just allow yourself to tune in for a moment to the earth beneath you, feeling its stability and solidity. And the life in it too, all in the life beneath you. And you become aware of your breathing, and you perhaps might find it helpful to, as you breathe out, just imagine your tension just dropping away into the earth. And as you breathe in the smell of the earth and the healing power of the earth, bringing you a sense of groundedness and connection to Mother Earth. And as you breathe in and breathe out, you also become aware of the trees around you, their roots stretching deep into the earth, their strong trunks rising up into the air. And you sense the presence of the trees as the presence of brothers and sisters, of these extraordinary beings who bring us air and food and fire and books and beds and furniture and houses, who constantly give of themselves. And their presence brings you a sense of peace and connection. And you look up into the night sky and you breathe in deeply, and you breathe in the energy of star and moonlight into your being. And the energy of the heavens meets the energy of the earth within the center of your being. And sitting here in the sacred grove, you know that poetry is a big part of the Druid tradition. There's the school of the bards who are the poets, who understand the magic of words and the magic of sound. And you close your inner eyes, or you continue to drink in the sights of the sacred grove around you as you listen to the poem that's being read. Each day, I long so much to see the true teacher. And each time at dusk, when I open the cabin door and empty the teapot, I think I know where he is, west of us in the forest. Or perhaps I am the one who is out in the night, the forest sand wet under my feet, moonlight shining on the sides of the birch trees, the sea far off, gleaming. And he is the one who is at home. He sits in my chair calmly. He reads and prays all night. He loves to feel his own body around him. He does not leave his house. That was The One Who Is at Home by Francisco Albanese. And then Late Night by Antonio Machado. Last night, as I was sleeping, I dreamt, marvelous error, that a spring was breaking out in my heart. I said, "Along which secret aqueduct, O water, are you coming to me, water of a new life that I have never drunk?" Last night, as I was sleeping, I dreamt, marvelous error, that I had a beehive here inside my heart, and the golden bees were making combs and sweet honey from my old failures. Last night, as I was sleeping, I dreamt, marvelous error, that a fiery sun was giving light inside my heart. It was fiery because I felt warmth as from a hearth, and sun because it gave light and brought tears to my eyes. Last night, as I slept, I dreamt, marvelous error, that it was God I had here inside my heart. And you might like to focus your awareness on your heart space, the heart chakra, the heart area of the body. Just allowing that sense of light and warmth. Just opening to it and relaxing into it. The heart effortlessly radiating love, receiving love from the divine source, radiating. And you might perhaps become aware of our circle, of a circle of beings sitting in the sacred grove, sitting in a circle, each heart glowing. And imagine that even with your eyes closed within the grove, yet somehow you're aware of these hearts glowing, and you move your hands out to either side, and you find each of your hands meeting other hands, so that all of us are holding our hands in a circle now. And we say that prayer, beloved of Druids. We swear by peace and love to stand, heart to heart and hand in hand. Mark, O Spirit, and hear us now, confirming this our sacred vow. The vow is the vow of love and peace. May there be love amongst all beings. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail on earth. And you gently let go of the hands around you, and you place your hands on the ground. And you feel that peacefulness on the earth. May peace prevail on earth. And then coming back to your heart, you might like to lift your hands up now, your physical hands, and place them on your heart. And feel that love and that warmth in the heart. And that brings your awareness back to an awareness of the physical body. And as you become aware of the physical body, you become aware of being seated in front of your screen. The sense of being seated in the circle in the sacred grove gently begins to fade as you become aware of being seated here and now in front of your screen. And when you feel ready, you open your eyes. So somebody has asked if I'll pop the poems on the blog. I'll certainly try to do that. There's something about poetry that's so wonderful, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't there? Julia Foyle says, so restful. I think that's what we all need now. And it's funny, isn't it? We say, may peace prevail on earth. And one's rational mind might immediately come in with, well, that's fat chance of that. And yet, I don't know if you experience this, and yet deep down, it seems so important to make that affirmation, to ask for that, to believe in it, even though your rational mind might look at the news every day and see, how can there be human beings behave so badly? So have a wonderful week. Thank you for all the lovely comments that are coming in. That's lovely to read them. And do continue to comment, of course. And I think and I think maybe we can all hold in our minds, how can we best navigate, live the coming weeks as we move towards the solstice time? How can we get in sync with the natural rhythm and the flow? And let's see what we come up with. So many blessings, much love, and have a very, very good week. And I will see you next week at the same time. Okay, bye.